Well, it's just after 8 o'clock. I'm just getting ready to check out of the hotel and make my way back to Belgrade, get on a bus, as I'll be in Belgrade for the next few nights. Have a good look around the capital. See, I've actually completed another accomplish. Like, it's only like maybe my like 8th country that I've actually spent a whole week in. Like, I've spent a whole week in like Australia, New Zealand, United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Sweden, Russia, and Brazil, and now Serbia. So that's 9. And even after 87 nations, I rarely spend a week in a country. Because, I mean, like, well, I've got like 2 less time on my hands.
Okay, it's 4 degrees, it's nearly 10:15, it's time to get to Beograd, or Belgrade. On the bus to Belgrade, and this ticket has cost me 1270 dinars, so maybe a little bit over a tenner, I guess. It's like the one thing I don't understand, it was like 600 dinar, no sorry, 700 dinar, like Belgrade to Novi Sad, 800 at least Novi Sad to Subotica, and now 1270 to get from Subotica to Belgrade. So when I leave Belgrade in a couple of days to go further south, it should probably cost me less to get to Pola. Yeah, I really want to go. Alright, leaving Subotica now, so goodbye. See you another time, maybe in another 5 years, since it's been 5 years since this last year. And up goes the barrier. We're on the road for at least an hour, and we're not even near Novi Sad. Normally, like, the bus pulls into like stops like this and people get on. But strange enough, in Serbia, people just tend to get off at random stops. It's weird. It's not like, you know, like you travel from London to Birmingham and you're like, hey, let me off at this, like, Luton or Watford. Just closing in on the bus station in the north of Novi Sad. So once we cross the Danube, we shall be heading on to Belgrade. So halfway there. I've spent more time in Novi Sad than in Belgrade. Such is life. It has taken me the best of just under 2 hours to get to Novi Sad, so it should be smooth driving all the way to Belgrade. Just people are getting off right now, and people are also getting on, and the bus is going. So we're going off to Belgrade now. I'm like 20 or less, say, kilometers outside of Belgrade, like coming in from the west. Yes, even though I've just been in the north, I'm coming into the west of Belgrade right now. And we can see local buses. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like bumper to bumper traffic, it's a saying back home in Australia. But, you know, there's a big truck ahead of us. Not a bus, it's definitely a truck, yeah. Slowly moving. And as the bus is slowly getting towards Belgrade. So, my initial plan in Belgrade was, I was supposed to come on the 16th, stay for a few days, not really bothering about like Novi Sad and Subotica, and then go on Istanbul and get to my 88th nation, and then get back to the UK in December. But a lot of it has changed because I had to leave London last week, and then my 80th nation, the flight to it is up in the air. It's not happening, but the flight back from it is still happening. So my time here in Belgrade is limited to what I expected. Like, I was gonna come here on the 13th of November, yes. Just to come on the 13th of November and like stay for a whole week before going to Istanbul. But as you know, I had to like leave the UK early. So I'm only gonna be in Belgrade for a few days before I have to move on to other places in Serbia. So down there, if I'm not mistaken, that's Belgrade train station. And then up here is a Zenoliki Museum. I initially first thought this is the Parliament, but then I realised there's a few more domes on the Parliament of Serbia. I've just had a bit of a hell of a time trying to put down a Wi-Fi password. Like, basically it said all capital letters or zeros, but the word C-O-N, I don't know, it was C-0-N, so like it caused a huge kerfuffle and all. But I'm really happy now I'm connected, because I need to charge my phone up, because this is like pretty low battery, and call a few people on FaceTime. So I just came back from a little bit of a shop. I got myself shandy. It's like really my favorite flavor in the Balkans. It's got some sort of like really nice plant, Zova, Oblin, and I only have this when I'm in the Balkans. Peanuts. What's my salt content? No, it's like chips today. 4 bananas, 5 sticks for coffee, a bar of nuts, a tin of tuna, and some yogurt. Now I just boiled the kettle and over there, but the thing is, like, I've got no kitchen. I've got no kitchen for the next 2 days, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, it's kind of hard that I don't even carry a fork or a knife with me. I mean, why would you, especially when you have to like go through airport securities every now and then, and you don't have like checked-in luggage. So I'm gonna go out and probably get a burger or javapi somewhere for my dinner and all, and then I'm gonna come back here. So here. So just enjoying a cup of coffee for like 18 dinar, rather than like 190 dinar cappuccino at McDonald's. See, the one problem I have with basically is my beverages, that if the kettle's already boiled and you pour the mixture in, you're automatically just going to burn your tongue as soon as possible. And they also say it's not good for your esophagus, like really hot drinks, so it's like let it cool. I mean, not really too cool, just, see, right now it's like really hot to touch, so I can't keep my hand on the cup for too long. Yeah, so it's about afternoon, and I'm gonna go out soon once my phone charges up. I've got like the rest of today and all of tomorrow to see Belgrade. Yeah. But then I've got to like leave on Wednesday to head south. And I got like peanuts now. Actually, they're not really peanuts. They're more like just like these like twisties. Like, I'm Australian, like as a British citizen, but twisties are like in the same shape. It's like cheese flavor. This is peanut flavor. Yeah, I could take a bite. I mean, peanut sauce. Ah, yes, let's have a bit of advertisement billboard, shall we? Yes. Now, I strolled into a park with a statue. And I bet you I won't be able to read the statue, if it's, but 1894, 1918. That's such a young guy. I mean, look at that, 1894. It's like 24 years old when he died. I'm guessing he was part of the Serbian Empire at that time. Found another church right here in a small park. It looks quite new, but don't really know how old it is. There seems like so many churches in this area. Yes. Now around this area, I believe, is where the President or Prime Minister of Serbia lives. Because one time the royals actually like lived in Belgrade, and even though they've been in exile for many years, they actually came back in like 2000. So they live in Belgrade, they're pretenders to the Yugoslav and Serbian throne, but like they got no power of it. They're just like non-symbolic figureheads. This man here, I assume he must have been the last king of Yugoslavia, because it says down here like 1975, yeah, and I think the last king actually died in the 1970s in exile in Chicago. So behind my shoulder, that's where the President of Serbia works. That's what I just like read on one of the plaques. So I just remember like there's like two different buildings, and actually like one of them was made for the royals, which is like over there. Now according to my Google Maps on here, that building behind me is the Stvari door. So I kind of think like, yeah, the president might like live there, or maybe the royals might have lived there once. But yeah, but like nothing's really changed in 5 years since I was like last here. Although it's good to keep the gardens nice and green and colourful as usual. Yeah. And here we have the Parliament of Serbia, and this is also where like the Parliament of Yugoslavia had met back in the day, and like before the whole formation of Yugoslavia after the end of World War I. So a lot of historic moments have happened inside that building. And as a matter of fact, all this area around me was actually bombed during World War II. You know, when the Germans bombed. Now, I never saw this monument when I came here in 2015. So this is brand new to me, and I've never seen this in the guidebook. But I kind of reckon, to my knowledge, these people were probably involved in like the Serbia Ottoman War, when Serbia like regained control of their own country. And so, or maybe these people are people who died for Yugoslavia, or actually died in like World War I. Yeah, because I mean like, the hats they're wearing look pretty old-fashioned to me. Like that. Like, the name like, Vojvoda Misic. Forgive me if I said it wrong, right? Now let's see some more stuff from the front of the Parliament. Flags aren't flying, that's usual, this is bad weather. I mean, you never fly a flag when it rains. And to me, like, I can't really see it properly, but it looks like there's a horse and a woman, and there's a horse and a man over there. I mean, it might not be a woman on that one, it might be a man, but I mean, to me it looks like a woman. This statue is not of Nikola Tesla, it's of Nikol Pasica. Yes, another famous Serb who was born 1845, even before the Serbia became a country, and then died in 1926, in between the world wars. Rant number 1. I am sick of all you people vandalizing maps, when not everybody in this town visiting carries a smartphone. You gotta remember, right, smartphones have a limited battery life, depending on what you have. My one's like very limited. So literally, like if my battery goes flat, well, I've got to find my own way back home. So, in the center here, there's a Republic Square, there's a couple of cathedrals, so I remember there's some good food around here, because I was here the other day. Let's see, and then there's St. Mark's Church, Botanical Gardens, oh yeah, Nikola Tesla Museum, I'm going to go there tomorrow, at Belgrade Palace. Doesn't really mention
Yeah. So I'm closing in on another square, and I just can't believe how a lot of stuff in this country is very cheap. Like, I just bought myself a single donut, this smoothie, and a packet of like chips or crisps, whatever you want to say it, for like 150 dinar, so £1.20. And I would never like pay that little in England. I mean, literally, I'd be paying like 40 or 50 pence a single donut, or like £1 for 6 donuts each. Gotta love my probiotics, you know.
So here we are in Republic Square in Belgrade. We got the national hero up there on a horse, and a lot of places in Serbia that they liberated from the Ottomans. And you got to remember one thing: the Russians actually backed the Serbs. It's a true mentality about how they've been friends for at least over 200 years. You know, I mean, pretty much the Serbian flag is actually the Russian flag upside down. So, like one time when they had a victory parade after the end of the Ottoman War, they flipped the Russian flag upside down because they didn't actually have a Serbian flag.
I was feeling hungry, so I got myself a cevapi. Even though, like, I really gotta like watch my salt intake and like you know, my sugar intake as well, because I don't think I mentioned this, but my dad had like a heart attack a few weeks ago, and he always reminded me, Martin, it's not what you eat that's gonna kill you, it's what you don't eat that will kill you. So, I mean, a cevapi isn't really as bad as like a doner kebab or a Big Mac. I mean, like, as long as I've loaded it up with like raw vegetables and nice sauces, like not too creamy, it's fun. But it's sprinkling a bit now, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, if it did bother me, if it would be raining, because you know, I got my passports in a small bag, in my money belt, out of my jocks. It's just after 6 o'clock, and all Belgrade is lit up. We got that bridge over there. Well, it's aqua type of lights. Oh, and look, there's a light show happening up on that building right there. Yes, and then across, you got the colors of the Serbian flag: red, blue, and white. Going across here, back to the other side of Belgrade. Now, I am closing in on a monument that was created in honor of the Jews of Yugoslavia who perished in World War II. Now, this is a big park. I think these steps are going to show me the way, like a pathway, but instead of getting my feet wet with these old shoes I'm wearing. Yes. This isn't really what I pictured, because I pictured something to look really spiky and have a menorah-like type of thing, but this monument does stand out in the darkness. It doesn't really, I don't think it is, you know, a Holocaust monument, because there's no like plaques. Yeah. But I am certain that there is one nearby on this riverbank. So, I am actually correct. Like, this is like a Holocaust monument. It says here, this is the place where the Nazi concentration camp at the old Belgrade Fair used to be during the occupation of Yugoslavia between 1941 and 1944. War crimes and genocide against around 100,000 patriots, members of the Yugoslav National Liberation Movement, children, women, and the elderly were committed here. Nearly half of the prisoners were killed either in the concentration camp or
the mass execution sites like Dzierżyńcy, Belazinci, Koska, Jabuka, and Ostrowka Ada. Many of them were relocated to death camps throughout the German-occupied Europe. The victims were mostly Serbs, Jews, and Roma. This memorial is dedicated to all of them. It is also dedicated to it's dedicated to the victims of the notorious Ustashi. That's the Croatian thing. The Ustashi concentration camp of Janovic, victims of the Hungarian occupation who were washed ashore in Belgrade, as well as the heroic resistance to the Nazi terror and all Yugoslav citizens victims of genocide. Belgrade on April 22nd, 1995, on this occasion of the day of commemoration of the victims of the genocide and the 50th anniversary of the victory over fascism. Yes. So, there it is, like behind me there. That was a concentration camp in World War II. Serbs, Jews, Romas, all killed. Mostly done by either Germans, the Croat fascists, they're actually a puppet of the Italians and Germans regime. And let's not forget Hungarians. Hungarians did horrible things up north in Novi Sad. Never again. Never forget. You see, I was expecting to find a menorah-shaped Holocaust memorial somewhere in Belgrade, like somewhere in this part. But like, I can't really seem to find it. I think the one I just saw is like a different monument, or maybe I'm thinking of like another part of Serbia that has this. I'm not too sure. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. I've had a nice day today. You know, leaving Subotica at 10, coming here at 2, and then getting into my apartment with that much bullshit at all. I'm gonna really look forward to seeing what's on tomorrow. I kinda hope there's not much rain at all. Because, you know, if it rains, well, I'll be limited to doing most of my activities indoors. So, anyway, it's good night from Overland Metalhead. Goodbye!